Yes, it's that time. It's Friday. It's time for the Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes live show. Welcome to the live show. We got some special guests. We got our first guest with us. This is his first time ever. We're popping his cherry. We got Nukin with us from Team Skunk Republic. We got Riemann, Azab, McLeod, Cheeky Cuties in the house. What's up, girl? So good show today. We got some exciting news. We got our first Star Wars Rebels characters being announced coming to the game, so that's cool. So we're going to get through that. All kinds of good stuff that we got in the show tonight. Thank you for tuning in and hanging out. Feel free to share this on your social media platform. That would be great. And then your friends and family can tune in with you. This is your show, and you can share it with them. All right, first off, we want to thank all of our patrons. Thank you so much for supporting the live show, the content for $1 a month. Get special Discord statuses like hanging out with us in voice chat during the live shows. Sorry, my voice is almost shot. More on that later in the show. You can find details over at lordskunk.com/support. Again, we have a new patron sponsor level added. Thank you to our sponsor patrons, Dr. Who, Coldplay, Sprizzle, and Sean Butterfield. Again, all the ways you can support the channel, the live shows, all the stuff we do over at lordskunk.com/support. Live show is brought to us by Gamefly. Get 1 month free for all lordskunk.com viewers when you sign up for Gamefly today at lordskunk.com/Gamefly. And again, we got new merch up. McLeod, I saw it. It is up. It is there. I went over to lordskunk.com/merch and saw the new designs that McLeod got up. It's really cool. If you're interested in checking that out, head over again to lordskunk.com/merch. If you're interested in submitting a design, feel free to do that. You can email me. My email scrolls at the bottom of this or top of this somewhere here. It scrolls. Also, you can contact me on Discord with designs and stuff. That would be cool. Always looking to add more to those. All the Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes guides and resources you need for raids, characters, ships, mods, and more at lordskunk.com/guides. Make sure you head over and check that out. Join the Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, Future Fight, Force Arena, DC Legends, all the different face groups that we have over at lordskunk.com/FB groups. We'd love to connect with you. And if you have a question you want answered on the live show, follow at LordSkunk1 on Twitter and tweet with #AskSkunk. So tonight's show, we got the Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes Weekly News, the Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes Top 10 Characters and Ship Rankings, Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes Weekly Meta Report, and Star Wars Trivia Questions of the Week with our questions and answers from Twitter. So make sure you get those in if you haven't done so yet. Also, we got Riemann, Nukin, and McLeod. All are knowledgeable of Star Wars Rebels. I just am not of that movie or that TV series as much. Cheeky Cutie, did you watch Star Wars Rebels? Are you a fan of that show, or have you not checked it out yet?
No, I haven't seen it. It's on my list. Yeah.
On the list to do. Yeah, it's not on Netflix, so it makes it harder. I don't know where you watch the back episodes of it at, but yeah, I'd like to check that out. Riemann was just talking about it a little bit before the show, some of the cool stuff that goes on over there. So speaking of the show, let's get into the Star Wars Galaxy Heroes news report. First off, the Star Wars Galaxy Heroes live show will be going on a 2-week hiatus. So after the 2 weeks, we may start the live show 30 to 60 minutes later, so like 9 or 9:30 p.m. Eastern, just not sure yet. We've done 25 shows straight, and we'll be taking this break until the next season starts on March 24th. I just took a different position, so I'm going to be traveling more, and the thing, and you can tell my voice is shot because I don't like being rushed or being worried about the live show, not having the live show done properly. So I want to make sure I get settled into this new position. There's some traveling done, and plus it's on a different time zone, which makes it weird. So I think I might have to push the live show back when we come back around for our second season, however you want to look at it. So we'll be on a 2-week hiatus so I get all that figured out. But looking forward to coming back strong, maybe with some changes. I'm looking forward to some Discord changes that they announced at the beginning of the year that haven't been done yet. I was kind of looking to add some show elements with that once they release it. So hopefully that'll be out by the end of the month or so we can start incorporating that into the show. That would be nice. So I was very worried about being able to even do the show today. So I've scrambled around. I was able to make it in time. I was talking with McLeod yesterday. I just didn't think I was going to be able to do it. But fortunately, we're able to have it today. So we'll be going on a 2-week hiatus. So back March 24th. And unfortunately, the timing couldn't be worse because there's no real good Friday shows on right now. So there's nothing even to watch besides the live show. So you have to just watch replays. But I will still be doing videos. I'll do video of these events that are coming up. For these Rebel characters we'll get into here in a little bit, and anything else that pops up that's cool in the game, I'll try to get those out there as well. So what's new? March will be seeing the debut of additional characters from Star Wars Rebels. The first of our Rebels event kicks off with Supply Sabotage. starting March 9th. Complete this event to unlock Hera Syndulla. She's the green Twi'lek there. And the amazing synergy she brings to Phoenix Squadron. Each Thursday this month will continue to showcase events for, as well as introduce new Phoenix Squadron members. There are no special requirements for these March events, so be sure to bring your best squads. Obviously, these dates are subject to change. Be sure to collect Hera and all of the members of Phoenix Squadron this month, as you'll need them to participate in a special event in April featuring their ships, Ghost and Phantom 2. So, Riemann, fill us in a little bit on for those that may not be aware of Star Wars Rebels. Tell us a little bit about what's going on and a little bit about these characters.
All right. Well, Rebels is set kind of around the same time that Rogue One is set. The movie. It's between Episode 3 and Episode 4, and it centers around a rebel cell called the Phoenix Squad, which consists of Hera Syndulla, who is a captain of the ship, the Ghost, and a couple of other characters. A droid named Chopper, which is obviously already in our inventory. We know that Chopper's the daily login character for the month, and there's a Mandalorian girl named Sabine, and there's 2 Jedi named Ezra Bridger and Kanan Jarrus, and they are basically trying to put together the first pieces of the the rebels. So I mean, they're really putting together like the initial efforts to starting what eventually becomes the Rebel Alliance with Princess Leia and all them, and they kind of make appearances on the show periodically. So you'll get a lot of you'll get Lando that appears, you'll get Leia's appeared on a show before, and you'll have Bail Organa appear randomly. Ahsoka was on the show for a while, and Darth Vader's on there. You see him quite regularly, and it's a great show because it kind of shows you kind of like where the beginning remnants or where the Rebel Alliance kind of first started, and it also adds a lot to the lore about the Force and the light side and the dark side, because you have people like Ahsoka who are kind of in the middle. She's kind of like a gray Jedi. Kanan right now is kind of learning from this guy Bendu, who is telling him how he is in the middle between the light and the dark side. So it seems like all of Star Wars is kind of leaning towards being not just light or dark side, but kind of in the middle, more of like a gray area. And I kind of think that that's where the movies are going too. So this show is kind of great because it's kind of tying in a lot of the story and a lot of the backstory for the movies, and also it's introducing a lot of new characters. Obviously, these Jedi weren't around a couple of years later when Luke first started, so we're kind of going to be curious as to what happens with Ezra and Kanan when that comes around. But it's too early to tell at this point. Darth Maul is also back on the show, and he's a major player on the show right now.
Nice. So cool. So lots of good stuff going on over there. Now, I did do a little research on them. I found that there are currently 2 characters in the game, kind of 2.5. Rex was also a part of this Phoenix thing, correct?
Yes. Rex is a main character. He's on almost every episode.
And then you got Wedge Antilles, who's also a part of the Phoenix Squadron, and then of course Ahsoka. But this is the different version of Ahsoka, right? This is the more the adult, like you said, version of Ahsoka. So interesting. So cool. So we'll see if those characters have possibly new synergies, or if they release different versions of those characters coming in the future. But as Riemann said, our March daily login character is Chopper from Star Wars Rebels. So is this one of your favorite characters, Nukin? Is Chopper one of your favorite, or who's one of your favorites from the Rebels show?
So I'm more of an Empire guy, so it's really cool. Like, I'm excited that we're getting Star Wars Rebel characters, right? But I want to see Agent Callus, who is a sort of a... I don't want to ruin the show for anyone. He is Empire, but, he may have an allegiance in other places. Governor Price and Admiral Thrawn are in this series. They've recently made Admiral Thrawn canon, so that's awesome. And there's a few other like Inquisitors, and I'm not sure if they qualify as Sith, but they're definitely working. They're working for the Empire, so I'd love to see some of those characters. And now that we have EA and CG has their foot in the door and they're releasing some of these Rebels characters, they should be coming pretty soon.
Yeah, it seems like they're leaning towards making some of the expanded material canon through this show. I mean, they already canonized the Mandalorian War from KOTOR, basically in the show.
Cool. It's cool seeing some Mandalorians in there. It's nice. I was introduced to some of these characters, obviously, through Force Arena. Some of these characters in that game as well. So, but once that game came out with these Rebels, a lot of people were saying, well, when's Galaxy Heroes going to come out with them? So it looks like they're following suit, so they're releasing them as well. So that's cool. So Chopper is a surly Phoenix support who taunts and dispels and can recover Phoenix cooldowns. So he's got a couple really cool abilities here. Those are on the screen, so we'll just go through them quickly. Reckless Fling is his basic attack. It's going to deal physical damage to target enemy and grant a random Phoenix ally offense up, defense up, or speed up at random for 2 turns with a 60% chance to also reduce that ally's cooldowns by 1. That's pretty nice. Cantankerous Clanker, 3-turn cooldown. It's his first special. Chopper gains taunt for 1 turn. While he has his taunt buff, Chopper gains 30% evasion. So it's nice to have any character that can taunt. Obviously can bring a lot to the game or to a potential arena team. And then Metal Menace is his last special. It's a 4-turn cooldown. Dispel all buffs on target enemy. For each buff dispelled this way, all enemies lose 10% turn meter, and Chopper gains 25% protection. Droid targets are also stunned for 1 turn. We don't see a lot of droids in arena. I don't think as much as we used to. Maybe in some of the lower tiers we do, but I don't know how this is going to play out in the heroic AT. That might have some benefit there, being that it is droids. And then finally, Maintenance Protocols unique. At the start of each of his turns, Chopper recovers 15% of his max health. In addition, whenever he is damaged by an attack, he gains protection up 15% if he doesn't have protection up. So he's going to be healing himself. He's going to be giving himself protection back. He's going to be dispelling. So he's got a really pretty decent kit. What did you think, McLeod, when you first saw this guy and looked at some of his abilities?
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. He's probably one of my favorite characters from the show, just because he's just so expressive, and they usually use him as the comedy relief. And he's hilarious because he's got these arms, these tool arms. Like R2-D2 has a little pop-out thing, but he's literally got 2 or 3 of them, and he uses them as arms. He's very funny. So I was very excited to see Chopper as a playable character in the game. And yeah, it kind of fits. His kit fits with his character. He's very wily, and they always use him as a distraction. So he's a good taunt, and he's hard to pin down and get hit because he's running all over the place, and he has those cool jetpacks like R2-D2 originally had as well. So yeah, good stuff.
Well, it's cool too because it's our first light side droid. Now, a lot of us thought about a year ago they had that EA conference and they released some gameplay and they showed R2-D2 in a PvP match, and we always thought that he was going to be our first light side droid, and he wasn't. So this is our first light side droid, very similar to R2-D2. We're going to get that here in a second. So who is Chopper anyways? If you're like me and don't know a lot about the Star Wars Rebels series, in Star Wars, droids are always eager to help out their human masters, drop whatever it is they're doing when called upon, and sometimes even sacrifice themselves to save others, right? Not quite. Introducing Chopper, a lazy and cranky, if ultimately good-hearted astromech droid. If R2 is the family dog, said David Filoni, executive producer of Star Wars Rebels, Chopper is the cat. Chopper is an essential crew member of the Ghost, tasked with keeping the starship running and operable for its band of heroes. In reality, thanks to his many unique upgrades and customizations, no other alien, human, or droid can handle the job. The design for Chopper, aka C110P, takes cue from early Ralph McQuarrie concept art for R2-D2, especially the expressive arms that fold out of his head, like McLeod was saying. As Star Wars Rebels takes place 4 years prior to the events of Star Wars Episode 4: A New Hope, Chopper's retro look creates the aesthetic continuity with droids of the original trilogy. So there's a picture of R2-D2 and Chopper side by side. So that is pretty cool. So how would you guys compare him to R2-D2? Is he, even though he's a little cranky, is he as lovable as R2?
Definitely. He's really cool. I like him probably a little about the same as R2-D2. But this guy, he has a little bit more of a feisty personality. So he's definitely and what McLeod said, he provides the comic relief that R2-D2 does as well.
Nice. Yeah, there's another kind of astromech type droid. If anybody has read the Darth Vader comics with Dr. Aphra, they have one in there. I can't remember the name of it, but it's a bloodthirsty astromech droid that just wants to kill everybody. So it's pretty cool how they're doing this, giving these droids these cool personalities. I like the way the direction they're going with them, so that's cool. And then, of course, the quality of life update has been released, so you may need to update the game in your app store to see it. A lot of people are confused about that. When they do these updates early, to get the early update, you have to actually go into your app store and then go into your update apps that you already have installed. It's kind of confusing how they do it, but if you need help figuring it out, ask in the chat. Somebody will definitely guide you in the right direction. So challenge completion and rewards. So I'm just going to highlight a couple of these, and then we'll talk about at the end what some of our favorites are. Challenge completion and rewards was a good one that they added. So now basically the highest tier in the reward challenges, you're going to get all the rewards and more from the previous reward. So no more having to go through different tiers when you're searching for different gear. You'll get it all in the highest tier, so which is cool. They updated the player profile. The training screen improvements is nice. Now it makes it much easier to train up certain characters. Saving squad configurations, I just tested that out a little bit today. I like that. I did all my Galactic War teams. I've made about 6 Galactic War teams, even though I probably never need that many, but I do have them, so I can just click a button, boom, that drops them in, and I go on about my business in Galactic Wars. Speed up combat, we were just talking about that before we started the live show. You can go from 1, 2, and 4 times speed, which is very nice quality of life update for these ship battles. I think I did a ship battle in like 2 minutes. It was great. Basics only an auto battle. That's very nice, especially for new players that are starting out. Man, getting through those first battles, you want to save all your high level abilities towards the very end. So now you can auto with just basics through the first 2 encounters, and then use your special abilities in that last encounter. Let's see, guild leader message. So guild leaders can now leave a message up at the very top of the chat, which is very helpful for a lot of guilds, especially don't use any outside communication apps. So that'll help in coordination and communication with guilds. Improved home button. That's a nice feature. It just takes you from instead of taking you all the way back out to the main screen, it'll take you to the previous screen. Current allies now display guild name and last active time to allow for easier management. That's awesome if you have your allies and you want to go through your list from time to time like I do and just see, hey, if somebody stopped playing, you might as well get them off your ally list and switch them out for somebody else. Galactic War rewards now scale as the players level up. That's a good thing. Finally getting some additional rewards out of Galactic Wars. All shipments and feature stores can now be accessed from one window. You can just tab right across and select, guild shipments or regular shipments, cantina shipments, all the different ones, which makes it very easy. Early feature unlock changes. This is really good for new people or people that like to make alt accounts. For new players, Cantina battles will be unlocking at level 8, so you can start working on that Geonosian soldier right away, and Squad Arena will be unlocking at level 28. What was it before? I don't remember what it was for Squad Arena. Was it 40? Does anybody remember?
PvP, I think it was 21.
21?
Oh, no, I don't know, actually.
It must have been, I don't know, I thought it was lower than 28.
I think it's lower. Yeah.
No, it was lower than that, I think.
Yeah.
It's been so long.
I was thinking of, I think, Galactic War or something.
Yeah, Galactic War is like 40, I think. Something like that. That's weird. Yeah, so I don't know what they what if they made I don't know if they raised that. I just thought it was lower, but okay, fair enough. And then of course they fixed Tebow finally. This has been talked about since back before the Heroic AAT was launched. People were talking about fixing Tebow. So they fixed not only Tebow, but they fixed a lot of the updated, or they updated a lot of the taunt and stealth mechanics. So previously when a unit had taunt or stealth effect and they received a new taunt or stealth effect, it would replace the previous effect. So if you were taunting and you gained stealth, it would basically turn taunt off. Now taunt and stealth effects will stack. If a unit has both a taunt and a stealth effect active, then the taunt will take priority. This resolves an issue where Tebow's 1-turn stealth leader ability would override his 3-turn stealth special ability. Now he will always get all 3 turns from his special. And this resolves an issue where Darth Maul's 1-turn stealth leader ability would override Sith Assassin's 2-turn stealth from Dark Shroud. So very good stuff there. We just had the recent events, the 4th and final Lord of Hunger event, obviously just finished up, as well as the Places of Power Jedi event. So what did you guys think of these events? Did you guys get through Places of Power? I did with my Nihilus.
Is that the Jedi one?
Yeah, it was the Jedi one, yeah.
Chicky, you got through it with Nihilus as well?
I couldn't do it.
Oh,
I totally failed.
Did you try it with Nihilus?
No, I gave up before I tried with them.
I did too.
I lost hope.
Yeah, I did. And then somebody in commented on one of the videos, and they said that they got through it all the way through, even the bonus tier with the blue-geared 3-star Nihilus. And I was
Wow.
like, well, wait a minute, I'm gonna try to. Dude, it was the easiest thing ever. Is because he keeps building up, because it's an 8-part event. So he just keeps every time he uses an ally, he just keeps building it up. So he like solos the last 2 phases. So yeah, I know what you meant. I was very frustrated too with it beforehand. I just didn't have I don't have a Zeta Maul and all that stuff. So yeah, so it actually worked out pretty good. So if you're watching the chat, or if you're watching this live, or you're watching the replay, did you participate in the event, or what were your thoughts on them? Let us know in the chat or in the comment section below. I'd like to know your guys' thoughts on the Places of Power Jedi event, as well as the Lord of Hunger event. Lord of Hunger event seemed to be the 4th one, seemed to be the easiest of them all, which was pretty cool. Obviously, we got to test out Darth Nihilus. We got a free Darth Nihilus, and for a lot of people are saying a geared up 3-4 star Darth Nihilus is pretty decent. So we'll see. And then of course we got the upcoming events, Supply Sabotage, which we talked about. It's going to start on March 9th, and then additional events will be every Thursday of the month. And we're going to get Hera Syndulla will be the first one. She's the green Twi'lek there, and then other Phoenix Squadron members. And this is open squad. Bring characters who are I didn't forgot to change that. So not strong against this, but strong against anybody probably. Open squad. So, Riemann, do we know who the characters are that we're going to be getting? We know Hera Syndulla. Do we know any of the other ones that are possibly coming down the line?
Oh, we know Sabine. We know Kanan. We know Ezra, and we know Zeb.
Okay, the purple dude. That's Zeb.
Yeah, Zeb. Zeb is he's what's called a what's the name of his race?
Lasat or something like that.
He's a Lasat. Yeah, that's what it is. He's the first Lasat that we've ever seen on the show before, or on the history before. But he's got a home planet, and they explain all that and all that stuff in the show. But yeah, he's kind of got he uses those. Remember those guards that work with General Grievous, like the Magna Guard. Like he has a staff like the Magna Guards.
Gotcha. So he's kind of like the big brawler, kind of the bruiser dude.
He's kind of the bruiser dude, and Ezra and Kanan are kind of like Ezra's like one of those Jedi that's like he's just like super strong with the Force, and Kanan's the like teaching him, and Ezra's kind of coming up in the way, becoming like super powerful, and that just kind of adds to like the curiosity as to what's going to happen with these guys, because I mean there's no way that there's an Ezra and Kanan that are part of the Rebel Alliance and Jedis, and like this guy Ezra is like super powerful, and we haven't heard of him in A New Hope or Empire Strikes Back. So something has to happen to them, something drastic, I'm sure.
Yeah, because that would be technically it could be Jedi, Rebel, and this Phoenix Squadron could have all those. Wow. So probably won't do that then. Probably be more. You think?
I think they're going to have all the tags. I think they'll have.
Oh,
they'll
wow.
be.
So they could be part of the Jedi squad then, huh?
I don't think that they're going to like add to the Jedi. Like I don't think they'll have like Jedi leader abilities or anything like that. But I think that they'll be like they'll work with each other, kind of like the Rogue One characters. But they'll also have the Rebel and the Jedi tag.
Wow, that would be interesting. So we thought the dark side was rising. We might be wrong. We'll see. All right,
So
and then a couple other battles that are coming up. We got the Omega battles that'll be every weekend, starting the March 4th, and then they're going to be giving the Omega ability pieces. When are we going to get a Zeta event, guys? When's that going to happen? Do you think?
That would be nice.
I mean, it's about time.
Yeah, that would be great.
We got the Omega events before we even were able to collect Omegas. So I mean, like.
Yeah.
We should get a Zeta Met daily. That would be cool.
That would
That would be nice.
Yeah, that'd be really cool. Yeah, and that we had Omega dailies. So
Yeah.
So Zetas would become once you hit 85.
I think we should be able to trade stuff, right? Like, I mean, not just in that. I think like I should be able to like say here's 50 stun cuffs for a Zeta.
Yeah, there you
That
go.
would be cool.
There you go.
I'd do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'd probably make that trade. So other upcoming events, we got the Palpatine event. Emperor's Demise will be coming March 9th. So when this Star Wars Rebels event starts, this Palpatine event will also be starting. So we'll be doubled up on events if you have not fully 7-starred your Emperor Palpatine. And again, that will run until the 15th of the month. And then next month, a month later, you'll be getting Yoda. And then a month after that, you'll be getting Palpatine again. So every month they're going to alternate between Palpatine and Yoda. So next up will be the Star Wars Weekly Top 10 Characters and Ship Rankings. We're going to burn through these real quick. Just a couple interesting changes. So at LordSkunk.com, we had the full Star Wars Galaxy Heroes character rankings as voted on by you and the rest of the player base. This is a live rankings and can change at any minute based on your votes. You can always find the list at LordSkunk.com/ranks. And the top 10 highest ranked characters in Galaxy Heroes this week are number 10, Jedi Knight Anakin bumps Rey out. Rey bumped him out last week, but he bumped her back out. So he's back in the number 10 spot. TIE Fighter Pilot stays the same at number 9. Number 8, Lando Calrissian falls a spot. Qui-Gon Jinn making his run back in the top 10. So he moved up again another spot this week. He was pretty high up a couple weeks ago, but now he's making his way towards the top again, coming in at number 7, Qui-Gon Jinn. Number 6, Biggs Darklighter stays the same, and then the rest stay the same. So everybody seems to agree that Wedge, General Kenobi, Darth Vader, Emperor Palpatine, and Boba Fett, however you guys want to say it, top 5 characters in Galaxy Heroes right there. So all good characters, all good. And then other notable rankings this week, Darth Nihilus moves all the way up to number 18, up from number 45 last week. Sith Trooper jumps up to 60 from 67, and Sith Assassin 61 from 64. So as Riemann was saying before the show, he was talking about the price of the packs, and it's not really doesn't really make sense, being that Sith Trooper and Sith Assassin are the same price as Darth Nihilus. When I think a lot of people will agree that Darth Nihilus would probably be the character out of that group that you would want. So very interesting there. People have spoken. They do like Darth Nihilus, and I'm sure he will continue to rise. We'll keep an eye on him as the weeks come. Maybe in a week or two, or when we come back on with the new season, Darth Nihilus will be in that top 10, if not pretty close to it. So we'll just have to wait and see. If you haven't voted yet, head over and see the full live rankings at lordskunk.com/ranks. And now it's time for the top 5 ship rankings. Again, you can find those at lordskunk.com/ship ranks. And the top 5 highest ranked ships this week are number 5, the Scimitar. Number 4, Biggs Darklighter falling a spot. Ahsoka Tano's Jedi Starfighter moving up 1. Jedi Counselor Starfighter falls back 1. And then the Slave 1 is sitting at number 1 again this week. So very interesting stuff. So again, you can head over to lordskunk.com/ship ranks. If you haven't voted on either one of those yet, make sure you go over there and do that. And you can make your voice and your vote heard. So now we got the Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes Weekly Meta Report. McLeod, are you ready for this?
Yep.
All right. We're getting towards the end here. My voice is almost completely shot. So can you guys tell?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah, it's getting bad. There's a lot of traveling this week. So here we go. McLeod, you're going to take it away. You ready? We're going to start with the leaders.
All right, leaders. So the big mover shaker and new entry into the top 10 leaders is Jyn Erso. So I guess people have had time to work her up to 7 stars and see how good she is, and maybe fight back a little against the Empire with all this dark side rising. Apart from that, not much movement really. A little swapperoo with Darth Maul and Darth Vader at the top there. Darth Vader drops down a second. Darth Maul goes into the top spot. And then Wedge Antilles holding on in there for the Rebels at number 3. And then pretty much everything exactly the same, apart from Emperor Palpatine and General Kenobi are swapped a spot as well. So General Kenobi going up 1 on Palpatine there, which leaves the bottom 7 as Rex in 7th, Qui-Gon Jinn in 6th. General Kenobi now at 5, Emperor Palpatine 4th, and then 3, 2, 1 is Lando. And then you've got Jyn Erso backing up, coming in there. So HK-47 is gone. He is gone as a leader. So droids, again, dropping off the charts in terms of leaders. Not entirely sure why he was still there. I mean, I guess that there's probably still a few free-to-plays who are managing to hang on in there. But in terms of meta, it looks like droids are pretty much done now with all this new stuff coming in. So not a lot of change there in the top 10 for the leaders. And if we look on towards the squad members, Dark Side is still rising. You have straight in here, although this is going to be sad for Skunk, B2 Super Battle Droid has dropped out again. TIE Fighter Pilot, interestingly enough, has completely disappeared, having held the number 4 spot. Sorry, going the wrong way around. I guess the number 6 spot TIE fighter pilot has disappeared, and in their place, the rise of Darth Maul continues, not only as a valuable leader, but also as a valuable squad member. He's jumped straight in there at number 5. And Darth Nihilus has also come in there in the number 8 spot, shoving those other 2 out. Otherwise, again, pretty much holding station. Those new entries have pushed Wigs all the way down to 10th and 9th. So they're just, Wigs is barely hanging on in terms of squad members. And Emperor Palpatine and Boba Fett have had a little switcheroo as well at the top. So now Emperor Palpatine, the most useful squad member, I would imagine under that Darth Maul lead is quite useful. And Boba Fett dropping down into 2nd place. General Kenobi still holding up positions here. He's jumped ahead of Baze Malbus, and they've done a switch as well. So General Kenobi 3rd, Baze Malbus 4th. And then, like I said, Darth Maul coming in at the 5th spot. Chirrut Imwe still holding on there in 6th. Darth Vader dropped a little down to 7th, and that's pretty much where we're at right now. So it looks like all the Darth Maul Zetas have come in and shaken things up a little. So you've got your dark side characters being more useful and made a good use of there, and obviously the new Darth Nihilus coming in as well. Barely hanging on are the rebels in there. So we'll see how that shakes out in the weeks to come. But interesting that a couple of the new characters, as in Jyn Erso and Darth Nihilus, are coming straight into the charts here with the meta.
Well, Darth Nihilus at 347. Wow, that's probably the biggest jump we've seen in a long time on a brand new character.
Straight in there, yeah.
That's
Look
nuts.
at those willing and able to shell out for the 7-star Darth Nihilus are making good use of him.
I guess so, and that makes sense. I mean, you've seen him jump up on the character rankings, and now you see him jump up on the meta report. So it's very interesting. I always like to look at those two and compare, because you can see it. You can see it happening. And Emperor Palpatine coming in there and taking that number 1 spot back again. He's always, him and Fett are always back and forth on another list as well. So
a lot of people are running a 4-star. You know what I mean? So they're just running a 3-star or a 4-star, and they're just gearing him up to gear 11. He's still pretty effective. So I mean, it's he's going to get use, even though people aren't going to be able to aren't necessarily going to buy him.
Yeah, what gear level is yours? No.
Mine's gear 11 right now.
Is it? Wow. And you like all his abilities and stuff, and how he performs for you?
Yeah, I got him at 6-star right now. I did buy some packs, so I mean, he's pretty good. I mean, I have no problem in arena. You know, I run him with the Darth Maul lead, and he does great. He can also help change the tide of the battle kind of at the end with that insta kill ability that he has. So, I mean, he's really useful, especially with the dispel. You know, if I use him with Kenobi, so he gets retribution every match, and it's great to get retribution with a character that can dispel with a basic.
Yeah, absolutely. So, for Nihilus, you like using that Annihilate? Then you seem like you can get it down pretty low on the cooldowns. Yeah,
I mean, listen, if you're fighting a pretty a high level arena fight, you know what I mean. Like the matches are not always going to be quick, so you have. Sometimes you can be, losing and just kind of turned around by being able to take out the character with the most HP on the other side.
Cool. And then what kind of drop rate were you seeing with him? What was your average charge, you think?
It was horrible. It was 5 every time.
Oh, really? Oh, wow. I was figuring. I was kind of guesstimating that at a best case scenario, you'd be looking around average of 8. So that's not even close. Then 5. Wow. So
no, somebody said they got somebody in my shard got 2 pulls for 30, right off the bat.
Oh,
and
wow.
Then they, and that's great. I mean, that saves you that saves you 150. That saves over $100. You know what I'm saying? But it's I spent $200, and I'm gonna hold there for right now. Maybe in a couple of weeks I'll buy some more, or maybe I'll just leave him at 6-star. I don't know. It depends. I mean, I kind of like to use him in a raid, but I don't really need to.
Yeah, true. Yeah, good point. All right, and now it's time for the weekly trivia. So we know that the champion Cheeky Cuties here. We do have a new challenger, Nukin. We're gonna test out his.
Oh no!
We had to bring in a ringer. So,
man.
It was getting so,
no pressure.
It was getting so bad. She was just literally stomping everybody in her path. So Nukin, we'll see what you can do here. All right.
I just want to say that I'm probably gonna get every answer wrong. So just putting that out there.
Oh,
Well, so we're
oh, good.
gonna go up from the bottom. So we'll start with Riemann, Nukin, McLeod, then Cheeky, because she asked that we switch it last week. So we'll switch it, and she will go last. So we're gonna do the question. Now, when you type your answers in the live chat, do Q1 and then the letter or whatever, so we know which question you're talking about. All right. So we're starting with question number 1. What did Owen Lars tell Luke Skywalker his father had been? A Jedi Knight, B, a Sith Lord, C, a navigator on a spice freighter, or D, a fighter pilot. So again, what did Owen Lars tell Luke Skywalker his father had been? A Jedi Knight, B, a Sith Lord, C, a navigator on a spice freighter, or D, a fighter pilot, Riemann?
I'm going to go with D, a fighter pilot.
Okay, D, a fighter pilot, Nukin?
Okay, I think I actually know this one, which is surprising. I'm actually going to go with D as well.
D, okay. And then McLeod?
Triple D's across the board.
Triple D.
You know I'm going to go with D as well.
See, I think it was better when people followed Cheeky. The answer to this, what did Owen Lars tell Luke Skywalker his father had been? D, a navigator, or sorry, not D. I'm sorry, it wasn't D. It was supposed to be C. I just forgot to change the D. It's supposed to be C, a navigator on a spice freighter. So I just didn't change the letter. But it is C, a navigator on a spice freighter. Remember, he didn't want him to know that that his father was anything related to the Jedi or the Empire or the Sith or anything like that. So the answer was C. Sorry, I don't know why I said D on there when I was typing it. Again, like I said, it was kind of scrambling to put the show together. So
Pilot just makes sense.
that's why I kind of look for these. Some of these are so obvious. Some of these questions. That's why I try to find ones that at least can throw you off a little bit. Because I saw the fighter pilot and I'm like, that could make sense. Because you know he's not going to say a Jedi Knight or a Sith Lord. You know he's not going to say that. So. All right, so Cheeky, you followed along with them. You should have picked from your gut and not picked from them. So, question 2, what did C-3PO call R2-D2 as they were bickering over the escape pod? A, a mechanical poltroon, B, a walking garbage can, C, an overweight glob of grease, D, an ignominious mechanical troll. So again, what did C-3PO call R2-D2 as they were bickering over the escape pod? A mechanical poltroon, a walking garbage can, an overweight glob of grease, or an ignominious mechanical troll? Riemann?
Oh my goodness! You're gonna have to. Can you repeat that question?
What did C-3PO call R2-D2 as they were bickering over the escape pod? A mechanical poltroon, a walking garbage can, an overweight glob of grease, or an ignominious mechanical troll?
I would have to go with ignominious mechanical troll because that's just so specific that it has to be that.
All right, fair enough. Nukin, what are you guessing?
I'm gonna go with C. Let's go with C.
An overweight glob of grease. All right, and then McLeod.
I feel like a pattern's emerging, so I'm going to say B, a walking garbage can.
A walking garbage can. All right, and then Cheeky.
B for the win. A walking garbage can.
All right, so what did C-3PO call R2-D2 as they were bickering over the escape pod? He called him an overweight glob of grease. So,
Nukin.
I got something. Okay, game over.
so far, Nukin's in the lead.
Man.
So far, Nukin's in the lead. Very nice. Very nice. All right, so here we go. Final question. Question 3. Who said, I don't know why I wrote sire, it should have been sir. Who said, Sir Luke is the best bush pilot in the Outer Rim territories? Who said, Sir Luke is the best bush pilot in the Outer Rim territories? A, Han Solo, B, Biggs Darklighter, C, Tank, or D, Wedge Antilles? Riemann?
I'm gonna go with Han Solo.
A, Han Solo. All right, McLeod.
No.
Nukin.
Han Solo wouldn't say Luke is the best, otherwise, because he thinks he's the best. I'll go with Wedge.
Wedge. All right, D, Wedge. All right, Nukin.
I'm gonna go. I think Riemann's onto something, but I don't think it's Wedge. I think it's Biggs.
Ooh.
Final answer, B, Biggs.
Final answer.
All right, McLeod.
All right, I'll take C, Tank.
C, Tank. All right, and then Cheeky.
Lock in B. Biggs Darklighter.
Biggs Darklighter. So who said Sir Luke is the best bush pilot in the Outer Rim territories? It was B. Biggs Darklighter. Who said that?
Woo!
Luke's
You guys-
childhood friend and lover.
You guys got to do a tiebreaker now.
No, they're not tied. Nukin won. Nukin took
I
the
got
crown.
2, I think, right?
Yeah, you got 2.
You got two.
Yeah, you got 2.
One. All right.
All right, Republic. I represented you guys.
So Nukin now is the title holder for the trivia, but Cheeky still did pretty good. I mean, she got like 4 or 5 weeks in a row. I can't remember how many weeks it was, but yeah, so good job there. Cheeky, if you're gonna fall, you might as well fall to somebody of the skill at trivia of Nukin, right?
Is it Sir or is it Sire?
It's Sir. I don't know why I mistyped and put an E in there. It's Sir.
Sire would be interesting.
Yeah, Sire. I don't think there were anybody that used the word Sire in Star Wars I can remember. Maybe they have. I can't think of it. I can't think of any like kings that they had in even John.
No, they wouldn't even call Emperor Palpatine Sire. So no.
So did you get all the trivias correct? Let us know in the comment section how you did. If you want more Star Wars trivia, let us know that as well. I do like doing those. It is nice, especially when people come in and they think they don't have that much knowledge, like Cheeky thought when she came in. And then when Riemann does it and people ask Riemann in the chat, do you even watch Star Wars? I love that when they say that one. So I think Riemann does that on purpose. I think he does that as part of his thing. I think he really knows the answers, but he just chooses to pick a different one. So
We have a good time.
yep, it's all good. All right, speaking of good times, if you got a question you want answered on the live show, follow at LordSkunk1 on Twitter and tweet with hashtag AskSkunk. So next up, we're going to be doing our questions and answers. Riemann, are you ready for this?
I'm ready.
All right, here we go. The weekly questions. First one comes from Nick Healy at NickHealy4. Question for the live show: should I sell any mods which are not 5-star and have speed on them? His name in the game is Krakanen, and he's from the guild Short Bus. So what do you think, Riemann? Should he sell any mods which are not 5-star or have speed on them?
I would sell every mod that's not a color mod that has anything other than a speed primary or a critical damage primary, or maybe even some of those cross mods that have some of the rare primary stats. But other than that, I mean, it really depends. If you have characters that you're trying to build towards where, let's say you want to have all tenacity sets on a character and you happen to have like a tenacity mod, even though it's clear, I'd keep that. Things like that. I mean, mods that you're going to need, I'd keep. But anything else that you look at and you think to yourself, you're probably not going to spend any credits on that, sell it. I mean, there's no reason to keep the inventory. Eventually, you're gonna have to sell it anyway if you get if you get 500 mods in your inventory. So
Nice, good answer. Anybody else want to weigh in on that?
It really depends on the color of the mod, right? Some 3-star gold mods can get the speed up, in the high teens, and in the current meta, speed, whoever goes first wins. And I rather use a 3-star mod and get a little bit of less of the primary stat, just get a little bit more speed to go first, which 80 to 90% of the time gives you a huge advantage in arena.
It's funny you say that because one of my highest speed mods I just realized the other day is a 4-star mod, and I was like, or a 4-dot mod or whatever you call them, and I was like, I was gonna switch it out for something else. I looked at it and I was like, oh my goodness, look at all the speed on there. So yeah, I guess I mean it's a good thing to look at and see if you see a speed on there, you should at least level it up a little bit and see what you got. So good.
some of my highest speed secondary mods are like on defense primary.
Really? Yeah, I'm just weird stuff.
Yeah, just like horrible stuff.
We get what we got. That's all we can do, right? All right, and the next question is from Lucas Corson, 2018 Corso. Wondering if Dooku would work well under a Zader lead for Rancor.
Yeah, absolutely. For Rancor, I'm thinking of Arena. For Rancor, I would say I'd say no.
What would be the big advantages of having him over somebody else? I mean, I know he can counter, but
Why do you say no, Rima?
Well, I mean, he has a chance. He has a chance for double attack, which means double turn meter reduction, right? But it's like at the same time. I mean, there's characters that do turn meter reduction on their basic. There's enough now in the game where I would suggest, if you have other options, going with them. But I mean, yeah, I mean, listen, is he not good? I would say it works because again, you get the double turn meter reduction. But I mean, I'd rather have like a Jyn Erso in there or a Biston or somebody else. I mean, I don't know. I'm also not running a Vader Zeta. Zeta. So I mean, at the same time, I mean, I haven't been soloing the Rancor with Vader Zeta, and I'm not sure exactly what the best team comp is for that. So somebody else may be able to speak better to that than I can.
You've done a video on a full clear, right, with the Zeta?
Yeah, I made like 5 videos testing out different Zeta Rancor teams using like Royal Guard, Shore Trooper, Magma Trooper, Tarkin, just about any sort of combination, Sidious. And I haven't tried out Dooku yet, but I think double attacking and removing turn meters would be pretty cool. The team that I actually am, sticking to right now is you have this trifecta of Zader, TIE Fighter pilot, and Darth Sidious. And you can even run Sidious without the Zeta. And then the other 2 spots are just kind of up to you, whatever you have farmed. What about anyone else that has Zeta here?
I just feel like Dooku doesn't do a lot of damage. You know what I'm saying? And it's kind of that kind of makes it questionable to me. It's just like, I mean, there's other characters that will do the same effect for you. I mean, maybe not double, but I mean, at the same time, they're going to do a lot more of a hurting, which is really, what you're trying to do. You're trying to get through faster,
I guess you got to look at it like this. You got 4 other slots besides Zader. Who would he replace? Who do you think Dooku would replace if he was going to go in?
I'd use Tarkin or Magma Trooper, one of them. You could even use both. And then sometimes it helps to use like a tank, like Shore Trooper or Royal Guard, that kind of protects you in that Phase 1 fight when he death marks one of your guys. Phase 2 and Phase 3 and Phase 4 are a little bit easier, surprisingly, because there's the door lock there, and that can be kind of your like emergency button to escape and reset the turn meter. There's no door lock in the first phase.
Can you hit the Rancor with Deathmark?
Good question. So I guess you could use, if you bought those Citadel packs, I guess you could use Director Krennic and Death Trooper, but I have not. And I actually haven't seen anyone that has reported videos of that either.
I haven't seen too many people do much with Krennic and Death Trooper. I wonder if because Nihilus came out right after, remember we talked about Krennic and Death Trooper, it was like a big thing. And then all of a sudden, a couple weeks later, we found out about Nihilus, and it was like everything's been about Nihilus ever since then. So I wonder if there's maybe some lost opportunity on Krennic and Death Trooper there, because it kind of seemed like it came out so quick, and now almost it seems like now that we got Nihilus, it's like now we got these rebel characters. So I wonder if they're maybe just releasing them too quick, because we did Death Trooper and Krennic. So think about the way that this worked. You did 2 characters, Death Trooper, Krennic, which I think people really were excited about Death Trooper just as a character, and then of course Krennic had some pretty good abilities on paper. Then we get 3 more characters. Which is going to be Nihilus, Sith Trooper, Sith Assassin. Now, the next month, a month later, we're getting, 4 or 5 new characters for these Star Wars Rebels. So, what do you got? Let's kind of switch gears for a second on that. What do you think about that? I mean, is it too much too soon?
6 characters.
Is it 6? Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's a lot. I mean, it kind of helps with the cadence that they announced. I mean, because since the new characters are coming so fast, it doesn't make you, feel like you missed out on something so much because other stuff's coming out. But yeah, I mean, it seems like a lot at once, especially since they're trying to sell the value of these other characters. But again, I mean, Death Trooper and Krennic kind of threw us for a loop with the price. Now we know what to expect, and you're gonna have to make your decision based on what you see, whether you're gonna be investing in these characters or you're gonna wait until they become free to play. I personally, I mean, I paid for Nihilus because I just want Nihilus, but I'm saying I'm probably going to wait for Death Trooper and Krennic now. I mean, obviously I have to at this point, but I'm probably going to wait for these Phoenix characters too.
Yeah, interesting. It does seem like it's coming pretty fast. What about you, Cheeky? I know that you're not a big pay-to-play. You don't really... did you ever spend that $50 iTunes card that you found?
No, it's still sitting.
Still haven't bought anything yet, huh? So what do you think about these characters coming so fast? I mean, as a free-to-play player, trying to stay current and even in some cases catch up to, certain metas, do you feel like it's too much too soon?
It's horrendous. I feel like I only ever catch up with the meta before it's about to change. It's driving me insane.
She's still running a wedge in Biggs.
I am. And it's terrible.
It's getting tougher.
It is.
But Cheeky's also, she's also like, she's going to probably become the biggest whale, in the game.
With that $50
One day.
iTunes gift card.
It'll just trigger me one day,
Yeah.
One day there's going to be a really good pack, and she's going to take the edge.
Nice. So I'm going to do some auto basics on this Galactic War. I forgot last week. I don't know about you guys, but I forgot to do a Galactic War, and it reset. So actually, I didn't. Let me rephrase that. I forgot to reset a finished Galactic War, and then it reset. So that kind of sucks. I'm trying to make sure
you
that
missed a day.
Yeah, so I missed the day. So I had to reset it, and then I didn't have that extra, that extra one. So yeah, it kind of sucked. But so I'm trying to make a point to remember those. All right, and then the next question comes from Harry Ward at HarryWard_24. Who should I upgrade and get ready for the Palpatine event, Leia or Luke Skywalker?
I think Leia. I think Leia's more of an end game character. I think you'll get more use out of Leia in other areas.
Yeah, until Luke gets a lightsaber, I think the answer will be Leia for sure.
Leia with an offense increase, like let's say you put her behind like Wedge or something, she does a lot of damage. She triple taps, that's 30K, 40K.
Yeah, I think a good team is going to be, for a lot of these characters that are farmable now, is going to be Wedge, Biggs, Leia. I still think it's good to have a taunt in there if you can get Stormtrooper Honey's pretty easy to get. And then who's one other one? I don't know if you really want to do Akbar in that because
Lando.
Lando, yep, you're right, Lando. Yeah, Lando's another good option there.
Or Pathfinder.
Oh, Pathfinder. Yeah, you could if you farmed him up. You know what? I remember the very first time that I fought Pathfinder. I didn't know his abilities. I hadn't seen him that much. And I fought him, and he just kept coming back. I literally timed out because he kept coming back. I didn't realize that if he had buffs, he kept resurrecting. Like, he kept resurrecting himself. I was like, what the heck? I was like, is this a bug? I was like, good. I actually stopped for a minute to try to, load up my computer to video record it. I'm like, is this a bug? What's going on here? How is this impossible? This is, impossible. Then I figured it out. Then, obviously, after that, it was never difficult to beat that team. But yeah, I was like, what the heck?
Was that in GW or an arena?
It was an arena match. Somebody had him in an arena match. I had him, with a, this is, probably a month and a half ago, when Wedge and Biggs and all them were more, prevalent in there. But yeah, I was just like, what the heck, man? So yeah,
and I'd argue for Pathfinder over Lando anyway. I mean, it's going to come down to one of those two guys because they're right next to each other in terms of those Cantina nodes. You're going to get one or the other, and you're going to farm them to 7 as a new player.
Yeah,
and I would say Pathfinder's better, especially I'm sitting in endgame. I can't use Lando. I got a Gear 11 Lando, whatever, but he's unusable. He's bad. He doesn't work as a lead because he never gets a turn. And he doesn't work as a non-lead, except maybe in an Akbar team, but I don't run that kind of nonsense. And then he really doesn't have a place in the current meta. He's almost there for both first of all Rebels, but also for Scoundrels. And by the way, I've got the Swindler's Minute coming up here.
Okay, sweet. Who are you doing this week?
Any more questions?
I think we got one left. Let's see. Yep, this comes from Basilius at Merle Dixon, TWD2. What do you think we should get what do you think? Should we get Satine Kryze, her honor guard, pre-Vizsula, Death Watch? Game is lacking Mandalorians. I'm assuming these are all Mandalorians in Riemann?
Yeah, Pre-Vizsla is a Mandalorian. Satine is that that girl that had a relationship with Obi-Wan Kenobi when in the Clone Wars. It's what people think. It's the lady that people think is Rey's mom.
Nice. Breaking news here. Is it?
I don't think so, but anything's possible. I mean, it would make a lot of sense, but then again, I mean, I'm pretty sure they're not going to stray away from the Skywalker lineage with Rey. So I mean, I think she's going to be. I think whatever ends up being her heritage, I think it'll be interesting. I mean, maybe it should be like a combination of both a Kenobi and a Skywalker somehow. I mean, I don't know how, but she could also be a clone for all we know.
Could be. Or she could be born directly midichlorians like Anakin. Who knows?
She could be born of the Force.
Yeah. Very good. All right. So Cast and Speller brings us to the Swindler's Minute. So finish out the show. Who do you got this week you're talking about?
Thanks, Skunk. And, I'm actually talking about a single team concept. But first of all, I've got to clarify what we mean by a swindler. We're talking a scoundrel or a separatist. So we're gonna be talking about teams here in the minute that really rely exclusively on characters out of those two classes. But we're going to cross boundaries a little bit. So today's concept has a dual lead, and the idea here is that you're going to use Boba Fett while on attack, and you're going to swap it out for Dooku when you're on defense. The main body of the team here, though, of course, includes Raid Han, Sunfac, B2, as well as Stormtrooper Han. So now we're talking about two beefcakes in Sunfac and, to a lesser extent, Stormtrooper Han, although he's going to taunt real soon and give everybody that juice that they need to keep pumping, including getting Sunfac to his taunt moment. There's a lot of teams that this configuration is going to struggle against, including all those new nasty Empire teams based around Empire TIE Pilot, which is really difficult to fight against for a team like this where they can ability block you. But when it boils down to it, we're considering, what are we going to do with these separatists? What are we going to do with these scoundrels? And I think that this team concept really leverages the meta characters within these two classes. I mean, we're talking 23 total characters. We have 13 scoundrels, 10 separatists. So it's not really a deep bench. But when we look at the opportunities that are going to come up in the synergies, especially, and I'm holding out for a Newt Gunray revitalization or an awakening here that's about to happen. We got to see Newt Gunray take over as the meta lead. But until that happens, we're gonna make it work here with the Baba Dooku leader dynamic, as well as Raid Han, Sunfac, B2, Stormtrooper Han. And I'm going to be throwing that here into my arena in the very near term, which, due to all the Zaders and all that other chewing gum I keep stepping in, it's getting a little bit more difficult to just easily lock up first place, of course. But we're gonna run this team and look forward to reporting back with success, because the team does work, and I have been attacking with it. The B2 can certainly take care of any taunters, whereas Stormtrooper Han and Sunfac can block it down. It's more successful with Boba Fett in the lead, but I think on a defensive tip, if you're trying to lock up first place, or say you're at 19th and you only have one more battle, let's just try to stay in that top 20, you may want to throw in Dooku so that they can disrupt your opponent's attack. So this has been the Swindler's Minute, and we'll hopefully be celebrating the fact that Newt Gunray must have some sort of improvement here in the very near future next time.
So you're going to be able to get some gameplay video of this to show these teams?
Have you sent me that Mac that I'd need to connect to my iPhone to capture that video? I mean, I think it's either BlueStacks or something like that I could get on my computer, but it is difficult to capture video since I'm a PC home computer user I use a PC home computer
otherwise
on
my iPhone. Yeah, you can
All
just
right. Well, let's chat about that because I'd be
we'll get
very
some information on that. Yeah, you need to get some video of those. I think that would help a lot for people to be able to see that. I did like B Masu did say, "Is this the Swindler's Minute or the Swindler's Hour?" I like that. So that was nice from B Masu, one of your homeboys. So that was nice to see that. So,
cute. Thanks, dude.
So yeah, so good deal. So I did learn something out of this, Cast a Spell. I did learn something. I learned that B2 is also a separatist. I did not know that. So I just looked.
So is IG 100.
IG 100 Magna Guard is as well. Wow, and Dooku. Cool. So I'm learning all about the separatists as well. So now the Swindler's Minute includes both bounty hunter, scoundrel, and separatist. Correct?
Well, bounty hunters are all scoundrels.
Scoundrels anyway.
So I don't make a special it would include a bounty hunter that was a non-scoundrel. So yes, but there currently does not exist such a thing.
Okay, cool. Well, good deal. I appreciate that. I'm going to rest my voice for a little bit, but Riemann, are you going to be able to do some questions over in the after show if you guys do that? Some additional questions?
Yeah, sure.
All right, so if Riemann, if you have any additional questions for Riemann that you want to have asked or Nuke it, I'm sure we'll gladly answer those as well. If you have a question about bounty hunters, separatists, or scoundrels, Cast a Spell is definitely your man. And if you have questions about being 100% free to play, even when you have a $50 gift card, iTunes gift card sitting right next to you, Cheeky Cutie is your gal. So maybe we'll give away some ally codes and other stuff over there. So I appreciate it. Thanks for bearing with me. My voice is almost completely shot. And I will see you guys in other videos. Like I said, many videos we'll do through the next couple weeks, but the live show will be returning March 24th. So thank you for hanging out. If it's your first time here, feel free to hit that like and subscribe button. Appreciate it so much. Thanks to all the guests, Nuke and Cheeky Cutie, McLeod for staying up late with us, Riemann, and of course McLeod, or sorry, not McLeod, but Castaspella, who brought us in a late Swindler's Minute. So appreciate that. Thanks, guys, and we'll see you very soon. Head over to lordskunk.com/Discord if you want to join the live chat.